9 vines at the grocery store will cost you $40 to $60 a week, every single week, for the rest of your life. These 9 vines, you plant once, and they feed you forever. No replanting, no rebuying, just permanent food on your fence, your trellis, your backyard wall. If that sounds like the most underrated move in American homesteading right now, hit subscribe, because Cultivar drops exactly this kind of permanent food intelligence every single week. Now let's get into it. The first vine on this list is the muscadine grape. Most American backyards are sitting on untapped calorie real estate, and this vine fills it hard. A single mature muscadine can drop 20 to 30 pounds of fruit per season, without a single cent spent after planting. It does this through deep lignified canes that harden like wood over winter and explode back every spring. Think of it like a sleeping power cable that reactivates on its own. Pick up a bare root muscadine at Lowe's or Home Depot in late winter. Dig a hole 12 inches deep, amend with composted manure, and anchor a 6-foot trellis post. Water at 2 inches per week until established. Muscadines thrive in USDA zones 6 through 9. If you are in zone 5 or below, this vine will not survive a hard freeze. Do not attempt it without cold, hardy variety protection. The second vine is Hardy Kiwi. Most Americans have never grown it, but every farmer who has refuses to stop. A single Hardy Kiwi vine can produce up to 100 pounds of fruit annually once it hits its 3rd year. Smooth-skinned, grape-sized, and brutally nutritious. It spreads by sending out lateral arms that lock onto any support structure. Picture a slow-motion grappling hook that never lets go. Buy a male and female pair from Gurney's or Tractor Supply online. Plant them 6 feet apart in well-drained soil, and train them onto a sturdy 8-foot trellis. Water deeply once per week. Hardy Kiwi survives down to -25 degrees Fahrenheit, making it one of the toughest permanent food vines in the northern U.S. If your soil stays waterlogged, the roots will rot before year 2. Raised beds or sloped planting solves this completely. The third vine is passion flower, specifically the maypop variety native to the American South. While your neighbors are paying $4 per fruit at Whole Foods, a single established maypop vine can produce dozens of golf ball-sized fruits packed with sleep-regulating compounds and raw calories your body can actually use. It spreads through underground runners that surface and colonize new ground each spring. Think of it like a subway system that quietly expands beneath your lawn. Find maypop starts at Etsy plant shops or Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. Plant in full sun after last frost in sandy or loamy soil loosened 12 inches deep. Water at 1 inch per week. This vine hates being babied. It thrives in zones 6 through 10. In zones 5 and below, treat it as an annual or mulch the root crown heavily before first frost, or you will lose the whole plant. The fourth vine is Akebia quinnata. Most Americans call it the chocolate vine, and once you taste the fruit, you will understand why. The inside of a ripe Akebia pod delivers a sweet white pulp with a flavor sitting somewhere between vanilla and mild passion fruit. And a single established vine can produce dozens of these 3 to 4 inch pods every fall. It climbs by twining its flexible stems around any support with quiet mechanical persistence. Think of it like a slow hand that grips tighter every single day. Pick up a starter plant from Lowe's or fast-growing trees online. Plant in well-drained soil in full sun to partial shade, and train it onto a 6-foot trellis or fence. Water at 1 inch per week once established. Akebia thrives in USDA zones 4 through 9. The one hard kill condition: it will not fruit reliably without a second plant nearby for cross-pollination. Plant 2 or get nothing. The fifth vine is chayote squash. One single chayote plant, planted from a single whole fruit, can produce up to 100 fruits per season in a warm climate. The entire fruit is the seed, meaning there is zero prep and zero cost beyond buying one chayote at Walmart or Kroger for under $2. It climbs aggressively, covering a 12-foot trellis in a single season. Picture a green tidal wave moving in slow motion across your backyard structure. Press the whole fruit at a 45-degree angle into rich amended soil after last frost. Water at 2 inches per week and stand back. Chayote is a zone 8 through 11 performer. Anywhere that gets hard frost, it dies back to the ground. In zone 7 and below, grow it in a large container you can bring indoors before temperatures drop below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Before we hit the next 3 vines, you need to stop and hear this, because most homesteaders make this exact mistake and lose an entire season of food. They trellis these climbing vines on weak structures that collapse under fruit weight by midsummer. A mature productive vine can load 300 pounds of combined fruit and green mass onto a single support. If your trellis is not anchored at least 18 inches into the ground, with 4x4 posts. You will watch a full harvest collapse into the dirt overnight. Build heavy before you plant, not after. The sixth vine is Scarlet Runner Bean. This vine does something almost no other food plant does. It feeds you 3 different ways from a single plant. The flowers are edible. The young pods are edible. The mature dried beans are edible. One 20-foot run of Scarlet Runner along a fence can use several pounds of dried protein-dense beans per season. Calories you can store in a mason jar for years. It climbs by twining counterclockwise around any vertical support, like a natural rope that tightens itself as it grows. Buy seeds at Burpee or your local Tractor Supply. Direct sow 1 inch deep after last frost. Space 6 inches apart along a fence or trellis. Water at 1 inch per week. It performs in zones 3 through 11, making it the most universally plantable vine on this list. The one hard failure point. Temperatures above 90 degrees Fahrenheit cause flower drop and stop pod production cold. In hot southern summers, provide afternoon shade or stagger your planting to hit the cooler shoulder seasons. The 7th vine is Malabar spinach. If you have ever tried growing regular spinach in summer and watched it bolt and die within 3 weeks, Malabar is the permanent replacement. This fast-climbing vine produces thick, succulent leaves all through the hottest months of the year, delivering continuous greens when every other leafy plant in your garden has surrendered. It climbs by wrapping its stems around support structures. Picture a slow spiral staircase building itself upward. Pick up seeds at Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds online. Start indoors 6 weeks before last frost. Transplant to full sun after temperatures stay above 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Space plants 12 inches apart on a 5-foot trellis. Water at 1.5 inches per week. Malabar dominates in zones 7 through 11. In zone 6 and below, it will not survive frost. Grow it as a warm season annual and pull maximum harvest before your first fall freeze hits. The 8th vine is Loofah. And if you think this is just a shower sponge plant, you are leaving serious food on the table. Young loofah fruits harvested before they reach 6 inches long taste almost identical to zucchini. And a single vine can produce 30 to 50 fruits per season from one planting. It climbs by sending out aggressive twin tendrils that grip any surface with mechanical force. Think of it like 2 fingers reaching out and locking on to whatever they touch, permanently. Start loofah seeds indoors 4 to 6 weeks before last frost, soaking them overnight in warm water first to crack the outer shell. Transplant into full sun after last frost in rich composted soil, spaced 18 inches apart on a trellis at least 6 feet tall. Water deeply at 2 inches per week. Find seeds at Kitazawa Seed Company or Amazon. Loofah needs a long, warm season, at least 150 frost-free days, making it ideal for zones 7 through 11. In shorter season zones, start indoors aggressively early and use black plastic mulch to retain ground heat, or the fruits will never fully mature before your first frost shuts the season down. The 9th and final vine is the American Groundnut, also called Apios americana. This is the one vine on this list that most survival gardeners have never heard of. And it is the single biggest mistake they are making. It produces protein-rich tubers underground and edible beans above ground simultaneously, all while fixing nitrogen back into your soil, making every plant around it grow faster and stronger. Think of it as a silent soil engineer that pays rent in food. Source live tuber divisions from Edible Landscaping Nursery in Virginia or through Etsy specialty growers. Plant 2 inches deep in moist, loamy soil after last frost, spaced 8 inches apart along any fence or trellis line. Water at 1.5 inches per week through establishment. It thrives across zones 3 through 9, one of the widest cold tolerances on this entire list. The one absolute kill condition: heavy clay soil with zero drainage will suffocate the tubers before they establish. Amend aggressively with perlite and compost before planting, or you will get vines with no food underneath. While these botanical and self-reliance assets are verified by expert practice, they are tools for self-reliance, not a replacement for professional intervention. Every vine on this list is a permanent investment in your food independence. The grocery store is not your only option. Your fence line is.